good morning and happy November. Welcome home to Unity San Diego, and kudos for remembering to set your clocks the right way. And you all look bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, getting that extra hour of sleep this morning. So I'm glad you're here. Reverend Ken is with us today, and he's going to be talking to us about the power of order. So let's just flow with that order that we know is at work in and through our lives right now, and move on into our wonderful gathering music. And August is ready to join us.
I send my love over the mountains. I send my love over the sea. I send my love into the heavens, and it returns to me. I send my love. I send my love over the mountains. I send my love over the sea. I send my love into the heavens, and it returns to me. I send my joy. Send my joy over the mountains. I send my joy over the sea. I send my joy into the heavens, and it returns to me. I send my power. I send my power over the mountains. I send my power over the sea. I send my power into the heavens, and it returns to me.
Beloved source, I close my eyes and I just breathe with you now in this sacred space of prayer, just trusting and knowing that your order is the very best plan and the best timing for my highest good to be experienced. So I just open my mind and heart now to what is mine to do, to my next step.
I send my peace. I send my peace over the mountains. I send my peace over the sea. I send my peace into the heavens, and it returns to me. I send my faith. I send my faith over the mountains. I send my faith over the sea. I send my faith into the heavens, and it returns to me. It returns to me. It returns to me.
same.
Just the same. Spirit, help me walk, even when I don't see the road. Spirit, help me walk, even when I don't see the road. Every day.
I will trust in you, Lord, to lead the way. When my hope is fading, I will pray. Oh, just the trust in you, Lord, to lead the way. When my hope is fading, I will pray. Oh, just the same. Spirit, help me walking. Take my hand. Spirit, help me walk. Spirit, help me.
Spirit, help me walk.
Help me.
Spirit, help me
God
walk.
must stand.
Spirit, help me
Now walk with me.
Spirit, help me
Spirit, help me walk.
Spirit, help me
I need you, yeah.
Spirit, help me walk.
By myself.
Spirit, help me walk.
You ready to do some walking now? All right, stand up, clap your hands, join with us and walk with
Come on, everybody.
Come on, come on. Don't you know you walk with God? Well, come on, come on. Don't you know you walk with God? So hold your head up high. Don't you know you walk with God? Come on, come on. Don't you know you walk with God?
Oh, yeah.
Come on, come on. Don't you know you walk with God?
Oh, yes, you do.
So hold your head up high. Don't you know you walk with God?
Well, every day I walk with God.
Every day I walk with God. Every day I walk with God. Every day I walk with God.
Come on, everybody.
So come on, come on. Don't you know you walk with God?
Don't you know, yeah.
Come on, come on. Don't you know you walk with God?
Oh, yeah.
So hold your head up high. Don't you know you walk with God?
Well, every day I walk with God.
Every day I walk with God. Every day I walk with God.
Oh, you know it's true.
Every day I walk with God.
Come on, everybody.
Come on, come on. Don't you know you walk with God?
Every single day.
Come on, come on. Don't you know you walk with God?
Yeah.
So hold your head up high. Don't you know you walk with God? Come on, come on. Don't you know you walk with God? Come on, come on. Don't you know you walk with God?
walk with God.
I love walking with God, don't you? Every single step that we take, every thought, every prayer is a reflection of us walking with God, isn't it? It just raises everything, doesn't it? Well, welcome to Unity San Diego. If you're here for the first time, welcome you. We'd love to get to know you a little bit later in our fellowship hall where we're having a great arts and crafts sale. And you get the opportunity of hearing our own Reverend Ken Fendrick speak today. Yeah, so glad to share the platform with him every month, yeah. So I'm Reverend Carla Leitner again, part of this fabulous ministerial team that we have, our wonderful music team, our wonderful ministerial team, and all of you, which makes us a fabulous spiritual family, doesn't it? Let's take a moment and just get into prayer. Whew. As we just center, as we come to the busyness time of year, the time when we are moving into this place of thanksgiving, of family, of love, of friends, and of order. Today we're talking about order. Reverend Ken will be sharing how do we keep ourselves in order with all these things going on around us, with all these things that are happening. How do we stay within ourselves, rely on the God of our understanding, and know without a shadow of a doubt that we are living from our highest principled state, from the highest good. Today we will step into that inner knowing of living, loving in unity and joy, and living in order where we're centered with God. We say thank you, and so it is. Amen. And now if you would like to sing, Heaven Guide Me.
2, 3, yeah. Heaven guide me, heaven show me the way, heaven guide me, heaven show me the way, when I'm lost and confused, heaven lead the way, when I'm reaching for you, will you meet me halfway, heaven guide me, heaven show me the way, heaven guide me, heaven show me the way, when I'm lost and confused, heaven lead the way, when I'm reaching for you, will you meet me halfway, heaven guide me, heaven show me the way, heaven guide me, heaven show me the way, when I'm lost and confused, heaven lead the way, when I'm reaching for you, will you meet me halfway, heaven guide me, heaven show me the way, heaven guide me, heaven show me the way, when I'm lost and confused, heaven lead the way, when I'm reaching for you, will you meet me halfway, heaven guide me, heaven show me the way, heaven guide me, heaven show me the way.
As heaven guides us, let's keep standing and have a greeting. Our greeting is, I am guided by Spirit to be here today. Heaven guided us all here, didn't they? Heaven guided us. Yeah.
Guided by Spirit to be here today.
Heaven guided you here.
Somebody did.
And the whole music team made it.
Before I turn the announcements over to Kathy I would like to just take the time to invite all of you to, if you can, come into my husband Tony's celebration of life that's going to be on Saturday, this coming Saturday at 2 p.m. And I was looking up because I didn't take that significance of 1111 like 1111, so I looked up the number, which is like completion and all these great things. And so it's a time to honor his memory, and then bless him as he moves on in his spiritual journey. And so, like I shared before, there is no way that the people at the hospital would ever be able to heal him the way that he is now healed. And now he's moved forward, and we just want to have a little time with some memories and some fun and some food. And so it would mean so much to me and to all of our family if all of you that could come would come. So now announcements, Kathy.
Well, good morning again. And thank you so much for being here, online as well. We're glad to have you. And if you're watching online and you'd like to stay connected, please email us at unitysandiego@gmail.com. So today, let me start with Linda. Linda has an announcement to make, and we can go ahead and give you that.
Well, I think it's on your thing. I just wanted to let you know that we've got 5 people signed and paid for the Entrepreneur Mart. We have 2 or 3 others on the books that are bringing me their money, and we're still looking for more people if anyone wants to do it. I have the forms today. Thank you.
And that's on December the 3rd. So if you have a business that you would like to promote, if you have a skill, a gift that you'd like to share, please go ahead and join us on December the 3rd. So now next Sunday is our forum, our town hall forum. Sorry if I'm messing up your slides. Please plan to stay after church next Sunday to attend the last community forum town hall meeting. This is time for you to find out from Reverend Carla and from our board and staff and the special group leaders where our church currently is and where Spirit is leading us in 2024. There will be food provided, and we will welcome your questions and comments. This will be a hybrid and on Zoom also. So for those of you who cannot attend in person, the Zoom link will not be published. So if you would like it, please contact Reverend Carla at revcarlaleitner@gmail.com to get that. And today there is an arts and crafts sale going on in Wrigley Hall after service. If you want to pick up some goodies, nice, cute little decorations for Thanksgiving for yourselves or for others, be sure and stop by Wrigley Hall. Our family camp at Stallion Oaks in Descanso is in 2 weeks, on November 17th through the 19th. Reverend Carla was at Stallion Oaks yesterday, and it was absolutely beautiful, she said. Volunteers from the Unity Center were there, and they were helping to get the camp ready for the event. So there's going to be swimming, drumming, Reiki, hiking, crafts, s'mores, and more. Come for the weekend or just for the day on Saturday if you don't have the whole weekend to give to that. We recently realized that the email address on the flyer was incorrect. So if you have an old flyer, disregard that. To reserve your spot, please email SDC for San Diego County Unity Events, sdcunityevents@gmail.com. And, or contact Reverend Carla at 619-218-6135. We're filling up fast, so please be sure and contact her or contact the email as soon as possible. And this is a collaboration between our church and other Unity churches in the San Diego and Los Angeles area. The Soul Sisters is going to be kicking off the holiday season with a tea at Aubrey Rose Tea Room on Saturday, November 18th at 11 o'clock. The tea room is located on La Mesa Boulevard, and the cost is $45, which includes tax and the gratuity. There's a gluten-free menu for $48. Vegetarian and nut-free is also available. So to reserve your spot with payment by today's your end day, so be sure and contact Marty Ellingwood. First paid, first reserved. And, I think there's only space for 20 people, and I'm not sure, but I think you have about 18 or so already. Yeah, okay. So today is the last day to reserve that spot. And you can contact Marty for more information if you'd like at soulsistersusd@gmail.com. I want to mention, this is really in the notes, but I know a lot of people would love to see our bookstore be open, and we would love our bookstore to be open, but we have to have a volunteer to work the bookstore in order to open it. And we'd love to have it open for the holidays for those of you that would like to buy gifts there for your loved ones. So if you would be interested in serving in the bookstore, doesn't have to be every Sunday, but even one Sunday a month, please contact Reverend Carla or let me know as a volunteer coordinator. It would be right after service. We would just run it right from service, for the next hour or so, however long is needed. And we'd be glad to, of course, have review time and go through everything that's required. But we would love to be able to offer that service for everyone. But again, we need some volunteers. Okay, Linda mentioned the Entrepreneur Mart. So again, that's December the 3rd. And for more information, you can email Linda at ljalving@san.rr.com. And last but not least, next Sunday, we'll be continuing our study of the 12 powers, and we invite you to come dressed in orange for the power of zeal. So I know pumpkin was last weekend, but we can do it one more time. Get ready for Thanksgiving. So, and if you have questions or comments, concerns, or praises that you'd like to share, please talk with our board treasurer, Carla Manson, who is here today. She will be the board representative in Wrigley Hall afterwards. Or just email unitysandiego@gmail.com and put talk to a board member in the subject line. And then, of course, we are founded on prayer. And someone is always available to pray with you, whether it's here locally and right here on our campus or whether it's through Unity Village. So our prayer ministry is open from 12 noon to 5 p.m. at 619-282-7609 if you need prayer. Or you can call Silent Unity back in Missouri every day of the year from 3 a.m. 11 to 11 p.m. our time at 816-969-2000. And, of course, we have a prayer chaplain to pray with you one-on-one in person after service today. And I see it's marked as, it's going to be Autumn. We have someone else's name here today. So Autumn Leaf will be here today, and you can just meet Autumn right over there in front of all the stuffed animals that we would like for you to continue bringing between now and Christmas to donate to the orphanage, by the way. I'll throw that in here. But please step over and pray with Autumn one-on-one after service if you'd like. So now I'd like to invite you to relax and listen to our meditation hymn, which is Order.
A divine plan.
A divine plan is unfolding through me now. A divine plan is unfolding through me now. divine plan is unfolding through me now.
And now is a time where we move into a deeper space of contemplation around this idea of order. So I invite you, if you haven't done so already, to get comfortable in your seats. Maybe stretch a few of those muscles out if they're a little tight. Close your eyes if you so feel called. And we just take a deep collective holy breath, taking a deep breath in, holding it for a moment, and letting it out. And as we let out the breath, we just let out all the worries, the concerns, the thinking, the doing, the planning. Just let it dissipate. And invite you to take another breath in, this time a little bit deeper, filling those lungs with just that precious gift of oxygen we have, holding it for one moment, and releasing, and again, just releasing all the stuff. And as we move into your own natural rhythm and flow of breathing, in sync with spirit, feel your breathing just moving evenly in and evenly out. And with each consecutive breath, feel your body just begin to relax. Feel your thoughts begin to clear. Your mind move into your center of being. In this space, I invite you to use your power of imagination now. I invite you to imagine in your stomach area, around your navel, picture a nice green ball just inside your stomach. It's warm. It's calming. Using this power of imagination, I invite you to consider this green ball and how it now is expanding through your stomach, radiating through your torso, your lungs, your chest, your arms, out your head, and at the same time moving down your legs, through your feet. You are in the warm embrace of love, of life. This green light symbolizes life, nature, order, harmony, balance. So I encourage you to take a moment now before we move into silence. Picture maybe an experience you're dealing with, something that needs order, something that may be in chaos right now. Maybe it's a relationship, maybe it's a job, maybe it's a financial situation. And we're going to take this affirmation and apply it to whatever situation you're visualizing now. And the words to this statement are, I take my first step in divine order. Blessings radiate from me and are drawn to me. And again, I take my first step in divine order. Blessings radiate from me and are drawn to me. And just let the words, the next time I read this, really fill your ears and vibrate throughout your body within this green light. I take my first step in divine order. Blessings radiate from me and are now drawn to me. And so we let these words percolate and vibrate it within us in a few moments in silence. I take my first step in divine order. Blessings radiate from me and are drawn to me. And as we move out of this time of silence, I invite you to keep that knowledge with you. Let it resonate. Keep that feeling of peace that you've experienced in this brief moment. I invite you to move your fingers, your toes, bring your body back into the awareness of the now. Open your eyes as you're called. Be relaxed, refreshed, and prepared to hear the voice of Spirit. And now we will have a version of the Lord's Prayer.
So this song is called Order, Disorder, Reorder. And to me, it's about a cycle. A cycle I think we all experience from time to time. A cycle that can repeat over and over and over. Sometimes you feel like you've got it all figured out. Order. But then one little curveball gets thrown your way. And then a few more. And then all of a sudden, disorder. Things have snowballed and you have no sense of who you are or what you're doing. But if you give yourself up to Source, to that higher power, and really let yourself be vulnerable and listen, you'll be shown the way. Reorder. So I guess the lesson here is really to put your trust in God more. To give it up, to listen, and maybe that cycle can be broken where you don't feel lost as much anymore. I thought everything was as it should be. I believed that it was all up to me, as if I was in control. Then I lost everything I thought that I knew. I couldn't see that you were leading me to something beautiful. Order, disorder, reorder over and over. Order, disorder, reorder over and over. It wouldn't be the way I choose. This is how you make me new. So here I am, I'm all in. Though it feels like falling, that's what it takes for you to break through. Order, disorder, reorder over and over and over. I thought the storm would never come to an end. I begged you again and again to send a miracle. But the storm was the way you broke my heart open wide to get what was hidden inside and call it beautiful. Oh, order, disorder, reorder over and over. So here I am, I'm all in. Though it feels like falling, that's what it takes for you to break through. Give me the strength when I'm afraid to say, here I go, I'm ready. I know you won't forget me. You'll give me the grace to find a way through. Order, disorder, reorder over and over and over. I don't really want to change if I'm telling you the truth. But like it or not, your love won't stop till it makes me new. So give it all that you got, from the bottom to top, till I look like you. Order, disorder, reorder over and over. Order, disorder, reorder over and over. It wouldn't be the way I choose, but this is how you make me new. Oh, here I am, I'm all in. And though it feels like falling, that's what it takes for you to break through. Give me the strength when I'm afraid to say, here I go, I'm ready. I know you won't forget me. You'll give me the grace to find a way through. Order, disorder, reorder over and over and over. Order, disorder, reorder. Order, disorder, reorder over and over and over.
Wow, thank you, PJ. You aced that song. Oh my goodness. That's not I love it. Isn't that a catchy tune? And you will be singing that the next week, guaranteed. So you can thank Reverend Ken every time that song pops in your head. But that's not a bad thing, right? Isn't that a cool little mantra? Order, reorder, order, disorder, reorder, over and over. I love it. And it was interesting because I picked this song out and I just, I love finding new types of music and new experiences, probably because I was, on the music team and I really enjoy music. But I found this song and I was so taken by it, but I was disappointed because I had already submitted my talk title to Carla a while before that. And I'm like, oh, this would be such a cool talk title. But I'm happy with the way things turned out, especially in this context of divine order that we're going to be talking about. Order, disorder, reorder, doesn't it kind of sort of highlight the cosmic cycle we're always in, right? We get comfortable in something and we're feeling like everything's going great, orderly, and then bam, something happens in our life. We lose our job, or somebody gets divorced, or some major cataclysm comes up, and our world is just thrown into a loop. I'm having a remodel done on my house right now, and you talk about disorder going on. But we get the chance to reorder. That's the beauty of this, is that we have that power to reorder. So we're going to be exploring that theme rolling throughout this whole talk today. So I'd like to share my first real experience with order. There's all kinds of order, right? We have order in the court, right? Order in the court. Can I take your order? But basically, order is, as we know it, is kind of a sequential order of things. You know, we can organize things. But my first experience with order really came at 17 and a half when I decided it'd be a great idea to join the Army National Guard. Some of you may have known I've served before, but I remember I joined and I went to boot camp the summer of my junior year in high school. I was just a pup at 17 and a half years of age. And I remember landing in Fort Jackson, South Carolina, it was Columbia, and we're on the bus, and there was a bunch of us that came together, and we're laughing and joking and talking, but when we started crossing that gate, we crossed that gate into welcome to Fort Jackson, it got quiet. And you talk about order. We were all in our own thoughts for maybe the last 10 minutes going through base and looking around, and it was pretty dark when we got in. And the bus pulled to a stop. And we're sitting there kind of looking out, and it was dark. The doors open. And you could see this little campaign hat coming up through the stairway and standing up top at attention. He says, all right, you maggots, time to get your stuff together, time to get rolling. You will. Welcome to the United States Army. And a barrage of information coming out of us, and we're kind of like scrambling to get our stuff together. And he gave us clear and concise instructions, and then he gave us the command, move! And then the screaming started, and we, as the first guy got off the bus, there were 3 more Smokey the Bear campaign hats on top of him, just yelling at him, and people were flying everywhere, dropping packets and everything else, disregarding all the instructions we had been given before. And we're running, and we're instructed to go and stand on they had these little yellow foot marks there, these little marks where you're supposed to run and stand. And we ran and all found a place, and this is where we first learned to stand at attention. And so some of the people were scrambling and still trying to make it there, and finally we all get into one group, and we're at attention. And sort of it calms down a little bit. And there's a few stragglers, and of course they're getting yelled at and getting corrected, I guess you would say the right word is. Gentle corrective instruction. But we eventually found our marks, and we eventually stood at attention. And they explained to us how to do a right face. They explained to us how to begin basic marching. And we began marching. And we didn't look like a good group, but we looked a little better than 10 minutes before. So throughout my military training, that 8 weeks, I learned a lot about discipline. I learned a lot about taking initiative. I learned so many things, and this idea of order, of receiving instruction, being open to receiving instruction, not overthinking things, just doing what you are told. And it's a great metaphor for spirit, our spiritual walk, and in this idea of divine order that, we're not called to be perfect by any means, but we're called to listen. We don't need to know the whole plan. We just need to be willing to listen and do what we're told by that still small drill instructor that's inside our head. So this idea, this word divine order, this is something we hear in Unity quite often. A lot of people will say, you're going through something. Oh, it's in divine order, or something's going good for you. Wow, this is divine order at work. And a lot of us sometimes are going, what does that mean? Divine order. Well, divine order can also be known as divine law. And I look at divine law we hear a saying called spiritual 2x4, but divine law to me is like that game Chutes and Ladders. Does anybody remember the game Chutes and Ladders? I played it a lot as a kid. My sister and I used to fight over it quite a bit. But anyway, you get so many spaces, and the little kid would, do something good, and he'd get to climb the ladder all the way up to the top. And then he would do something bad, and there was always the one with the cookie jar where he wasn't supposed to get in the cookie jar. He tried to reach the cookie jar, and he was like, all the way to the bottom. And that's what happens when we align ourselves up with these spiritual principles, we can climb these little ladders, like chutes and ladders. And when we don't, we get that little setback, right? When we're not in alignment with this order or these principles. We go down the ladder. So that's basically divine law in a nutshell. Real simplistic way of expressing it, but I always like that. It's just an easy thing to visualize. So what is order versus divine order? Well, order is more in the relative, in the here and now. It's our ability to sequence things, to organize things. I had a nephew. He was very younger. When he was 5 years old, he's now like he's in his early 20s. He's in college, but I was staying with him. He's about 5 years old, and he was into this thing called tiny cars. And he had these little towns and these little cars, but he was really just into organizing things, and he would have all his little cars organized by color, or he'd have them organized by type. And me being his impish uncle with no kids of his own and just, I guess nothing better to do, I would walk by and I'd just rearrange the cars. Yeah, now I'm a minister, I know. This is I guess the impish side never leaves. Anyway, what was really amazing is he would come behind me and he would look at it. He would kind of look at the cars and he'd look for a minute and he'd like rearrange them back exactly the same way it was, and then he'd leave them, and then I'd walk by again and I'd rearrange them. Have this little thing. So that's basically order. We can arrange things in our own lives the way we think they should be, and they could be very orderly, right? Some of us like to organize our sock drawer or our yarn or organize parties. We like details. That's not me, but some like details, and it's a good ability to have. But this differs in a sense from divine order, because divine order is in the absolute realm. True divine order is in the God realm. And it comes from a knowledge and a co-creation, a unity with divine spirit, God, whatever you want to address God, the universe. It comes with that synchronicity. So in the absolute, this order is peace, harmony. It's a synchronicity, a flow, a rhythm. That's a result of our co-creation or our unity and acknowledgement of God. In this realm, in this absolute realm where we're completely in union with God, we experience serendipitous events. Good things just happen. They become commonplace, and we experience miracles in each moment. When I think about divine order, the first thing that really comes to mind is our music program here. When I was singing in the choir and with the music team, and I think about, our individual steps as notes. You have the notes on a staff, and one note by itself is just one note, but two notes combined together, and three notes, and then they're linked together in some form, and they create this harmonious sound when they're all put together. This is true divine order. Because when you play two notes that don't match, or I was remembering when I sang in the choir, and we would be harmonizing, working on our parts, especially for the Christmas show, and some of you can relate to this. We'd be singing along, and all of a sudden you get this look from Ron. He just had this look. And you knew you were off key or not doing something right. And it wasn't always directed at a person, it was directed at a whole section, because we had group harmonies too between the tenors and the sopranos and basses and everything. And I think a lot about that with our spiritual walk. It's that harmonization, being able to harmonize and hit the right notes and the right steps. And we're in discord, we just move on from that note. Pretend it was part of the show, and we keep working on that harmonization. But it's a powerful, powerful metaphor for this idea of divine order. It's a flow, it's a rhythm, put together by individual little steps that are linked together. So, what I'd like you to really take away from today is thinking of these steps. Steps to divine order. I mean, we can go on about, James and the colors and all that, but today, I really want you to consider that there's a saying that you may have heard before, and that's, you got to get your priorities in order. Anybody hear that? I've heard it primarily when I was younger. Ken, you got to get your priorities in order. And I thought about that because it is, when we make these 5 steps our priorities, divine order is a natural flow from this. But these first 5 priorities have to be at the top of our list in every endeavor we intake throughout our life. And some of you that are familiar with the 5 principles might recognize these, but I invite you to think of this today in terms of priorities. Because priorities mean you put value on it and that you're putting it at the top of your list, right? So if you had a to-do list, these 5 steps would be your first 5 priorities in each and every endeavor you undertake. Not worrying about divine order, not worrying about the grand plan or how it's going to turn out. All we have to focus on are these first 5 priorities, and the rest will take care of itself. Not that we don't do our planning here in our relative world, in our material world, and do the things we need to do, but we order our steps, order our actions in relation to these priorities. And so the first priority, this is number 1, these are in sequence, in order, at the top of your list, is God is. There's a consciousness of God's presence in us in every waking moment. That's what we want. God is the source and creator of all. And again, if you don't want to use God, you can use the universe, divine source. You can use divine presence. Any one of those ideas that can communicate this greater idea of the wholeness of God in you. There is no other enduring power. God is good and present everywhere. That's our first unity priority. What is God? What is universe? What is source? It's omnipotence, all power. It's omniscience, all wisdom. It's omnipresent. That means there is no spot where God is not. In each and every place you are physically or mentally, that seed, that presence is there. Verse from Matthew chapter 6, verse 33 highlights this when it says, "Seek the kingdom of God above all else and live righteously, and he will give you everything you need." Again, number 1, seek the kingdom. God is. The second priority, number 2, is I am. We are spiritual beings created in God's image, and the Spirit of God lives in each and every person. Therefore, all people, all things are inherently good. And we can view this as a wave being in the ocean or a drop in the river. We have our being in the godness. But the wave is not the whole ocean or the river, but it's made of exactly the same stuff as the ocean and can never be removed from the ocean. And we can help to anchor this in, we can use this affirmation. I open myself up to the presence of Spirit and feel the love and peace of God. The third priority on this list is I create. I create whatever I set my mind to. We can create our life experiences through our way of thinking. Our thoughts, our feelings, and emotions form the living bricks of consciousness. Our thoughts have major power over everything we do. We cannot always know the larger meaning of our circumstances at the time we experience them. What may seem to be a terrible event may turn out to be the catalyst for our highest possible good. By using our free will, we always have the choice to experience good. And again, it's looking at things, we don't always look at setbacks as setbacks. We can see through them and realize that they are for our growth as part of divine order. From the book, Your God-Given Potential, which some of you are taking the workshop and class right now, this is an idea on thinking. Order is the key to growth. We start when we are first learning intellectually about such God-given qualities as life and love and wisdom. Then we put them to work. We awaken their centers in our body as we awaken the ideas in mind, until one day The persons who are thinking in error are touched with spiritual light, and we know, we feel, we actually experience the work of the power in a spiritual way. Order starts with the establishment of this concept and our thinking, and we work from within out. Our orderly thinking lives to right relationships, harmonious results, and divinely directed actions. That power of thought, and in the book they really go through some exercises at the end about these exercises where you use affirmations and denials to anchor this point in. The fourth priority on this list out of your first 5 priorities is I pray it. There is power in affirmative prayer, which we believe increases our awareness of God. So through prayer, what we do is we put ourselves in tune with the creative flow. The other thing it helps us do is to really anchor into our intuition. Because remember, we were talking about that presence and that place of order being right behind our navel, right? It's represented by James the Lesser, that pit of the stomach. It's our digestive system. But also, James is paired with the other James, James of Zebedee, which also represents wisdom and judgment, and that's the pit of the stomach. These two are often paired together around Jesus. You hear a lot about them in the Gospels. But what it really relates to is this whole idea of this intuition in this region. You ever have that gut feeling? You ever have a gut feeling that you shouldn't do something? You ever have a gut feeling that you should do something? It's following that gut. The gut will tell you a lot. James the Lesser was the one that quietly went about serving, and so he represents divine order at work. So as we pay attention and we heed that voice of spirit, heed that intuition coming from our gut, we're guided in the right actions and the right directions to take. As we align our thoughts with divine mind, the positive spiritual affirmations, again, we align with that mind of spirit, and again, the gut will tell us, give us that guidance we look for. So check your gut. When you're feeling a little uneasy about something, listen to it. Listen to the gut. The last principle, the last priority is to live it. We have to pray with moving feet, right, Gretchen? Pray with moving feet as we're walking, as we're doing things. So this doesn't have to be in a time of contemplation like we sat into earlier. It can be out at the supermarket. It could be out and about. But as we move, we can pray as we're moving. So knowledge of divine principles is just not enough. We've got to live them. And in Corinthians 14:40, there's a verse that says, "But all things should be done decently and in order." That's a verse you often hear in related to divine order. But what it says is, I love this key word is decently. Decently. What does decently mean to you? To me, it means okay, it's all right, it's good enough. It doesn't say perfectly. And that gives me hope. Because as I'm applying all these other 4 priorities, as I have these priorities and I'm working with them, I know I don't have to be perfect. I can take it one step at a time and another step. And as I work with this and I practice it and I gain spiritual discipline, I'm automatically guided in the right steps. Divine order, God's good for me, follows. So I willingly put these spiritual principles into practice with faith and enthusiasm. So in closing, at times in our lives, we can become exhausted dealing with the daily problems instead of celebrating our lives. We become stressed out. Not only are there the demands of life itself, but all these deadlines and commitments to manage. All things can be accomplished in peace and harmony when we put these first priorities, these first 5 priorities, onto our to-do lists. With these first 5 established in consciousness and activity, the other 11 powers harmonize easily to get things done and to take the first step towards completion. With each step taken in divine order, in cooperation with Spirit, you will gain increased clarity, purpose, and strength in all of your projects and endeavors. Setbacks will dissolve in your presence, and blessings will magnify from you and magnetize to you. Namaste.
Thank you, Reverend Ken. Appreciate that. And we've got a fun song for you now. This is how God is my source. Let me get the band all ready. Because PJ's got to play a little bass slide on beat 4. So let's stand and sing along with us. Here we go. 1, 2, 3.
God is my source. God is my power. God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything I need.
Sing along with that.
God is my source. God is my power. God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything I need. God is my source. God is my power. God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything I need.
And joy is my source.
Joy is my source.
Joy is my source.
Joy is my power.
Joy is my power.
Joy gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. Joy gives me everything I
And
need.
peace is my source.
Peace is my source. Peace is my power. Peace gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. Peace gives me everything I need.
And love is my source.
Love is my source. Love is my source. Love is my power. Love is my power. Love gives me everything I need. So I give thanks. For all my blessings. Love gives me everything I need.
And God is my source.
God is my source. God is my power. God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything I need. God is my source. God is my power. God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything I need. God is my source. God is my power. God gives me everything I need. So I give thanks for all my blessings. God gives me everything I need. God gives me everything I need. God gives me everything I need. God gives me everything I need.
Isn't it wonderful to be such a source of these blessings of God? Everywhere we turn, we're getting a blessing from God. Now, Ken mentioned earlier about picking our titles months in advance. So my talk title on Sunday is Burn, Baby, Burn. I picked it 2 months ago, but it's okay. It's all about zeal. It's all about the zeal and doing that, just overflowing in that zealous love of God. So join me, please, next week as I talk about Burn, Baby, Burn. And
We won't be doing Disco Inferno, but
well,
we do have a
I
Burn
wanted
Babies
to.
Burn. We do have a
but
Burn
he
Babies
said no.
Burn song.
I wanted to change the words and do it, but yeah, well, then you'd have to wear your disco clothes. So wear orange because orange is the color of zeal. And also I wanted to let you know if you want a little more information on the 5 principles that Reverend Ken was talking about, we have them on that red banner on the wall back there. So Thank you so much, Ken. Well, now's our time of giving and receiving. And if you're online, you can mail in a love offering. You can also go to our website at unitysandiego.org and hit our donate button. We also take Visa and have Venmo. And I just want to tell you in advance how much I really, really appreciate all the blessings, all the offerings, the tithes, for your time, talent, and treasure that you give us here at Unity San Diego. And I just want to say that before we do our blessings, that I'm very, very grateful. When I think of the time that everybody puts in here, the music team, Kathy, and the volunteers, and just everybody in the time coming in and tuning in online, I'm just very grateful. I just want to thank you. It feels so good to have such a loving spiritual family. So I invite you now to take your offering in your hand if you have it, or give us some love from your heart. And we'll say our offering blessing twice out loud and once in the silence. Together, please. Divine love flowing through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. I am richly blessed, creating a greater and greater flow. And again. Divine love flowing through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. I am richly blessed, creating a greater and greater flow. And again, just for a moment in the silence of our hearts. And Mother, Father, God, sweet, sweet Spirit, we are blessed. We are blessed to be the family that we are. We are blessed to be such a tight-knit, loving, open community that welcomes new people, that loves who we are, that is just prosperous with love. And that's what it's all about, isn't it? It's all about love. And so we say thank you for these offerings in advance. These tithes, the time, the talent, the treasure you give to us. And we bless each and every one of us. Say, thank you, God. Amen.
I don't really have an introduction for this song. It's like a prayer to me. And so I will just say to prepare you for it, perhaps is just to get quiet and take a deep breath. And it just sort of emphasizes what Reverend Ken was saying through creating space to acknowledge, that presence of God within us and all around us, and then to listen, and then to get busy and do. So this is Divine Order.
Let there be less of me, let there be more of thee, less of the human, more of the divine, less that belongs to me, more that is thine. More of God's nature, and less that is mine. Order and harmony now are in place. Where there is harmony, discord will cease. Where there is harmony, there will be peace. Not personality, but individuality. More of the Christ self shining through me. fearless and free. Order and harmony now are in place. Where there is harmony, discord will cease. Where there is harmony, there will be peace. Let there be less of me. Let there be more of thee. Less of the human, more of the divine. Less of the human, more of the divine. Less of the human, more of the divine.
That was divine. Now that was divinity, wasn't it? So expressed. It was beautiful. Thank you so much. We're going to take a moment again to just pray over our offerings again, but knowing that they are going to such great use. And also our prayer box. So let's just take a moment to breathe into the Spirit. Just breathe into that knowing that we are love, we are peace, we are divine. Each and every one of us has that spark of divinity within us. And as we choose to see the best, we will definitely find it in each and every situation. And we pray for our prayers that are in our prayer box, prayers that we've emailed or spoken, prayers that are in our hearts, knowing that each thought, each word is a prayer. And as we express them, we know that we have these wonderful prayer ministries with wonderful chaplains to hold the high watch for us, to take us in their arms and hold us up when we can't hold ourselves, and to be there, to be that spark, to be that light, to be the Christ in expression. And we say, thank you, God. And so it is, and so it shall be. Amen. So thank you again. And I'd like to remind you that Autumn will be right over here in front of the stuffed animals if you would like to have one-on-one prayer. And now if you'd like to stand and sing More Than Enough with us.
There is more than enough in the universe that you created. There is more than enough on a planet of sacred design. There is more than enough for humanity made in your
light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is. And remember, prioritize to magnetize.
Namaste, friends. Have a great day. Bye-bye.
Namaste. Namaste. When the light beholds the light, sing namaste. The light in me beholds the light in you. Namaste. 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 When the light beholds the light, sing namaste. The light in me beholds the light in you. Namaste. 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 Have a good week, everybody.
Namaste.